Welcome back to Calm Mindset. In today's noisy and restless world, freedom is often confused with wealth, power, or the ability to do whatever we want. But Epictetus, a man who was born a slave, taught a radically different truth. True freedom begins in the mind. In this video, we'll explore the Stoic Path to freedom. Lessons from Epictetus. Too often, we chase freedom in external things: a bigger salary, a new home, or endless leisure time. Yet even when we achieve them, we still feel chained by fear, by insecurity, by endless desire. Epictetus's wisdom offers an escape from that cycle. His message is not about escaping life, but about mastering it. The question is simple but powerful. What if freedom has nothing to do with what you own, and everything to do with how you think? Stay with me, because Epictetus's lessons may change the way you see the world and yourself. No man is free who is not master of himself. Epictetus. Part 1: The life of Epictetus, from chains to philosophy. Epictetus's story is one of the most inspiring in ancient philosophy. Born around 55 AD in Hierapolis, Phrygia, he lived the first part of his life as a slave in Rome. His master allowed him to study under the Stoic philosopher Musonius Rufus, and through that study, Epictetus found the keys to inner freedom. Despite being physically enslaved, Epictetus realized that no one could control his mind, his judgments, or his choices. This insight became the foundation of his teachings. Freedom does not depend on external conditions, but on mastering one's own thoughts and desires. When Epictetus was finally freed, he did not pursue wealth or status. Instead, he devoted his life to teaching philosophy. His lectures were later recorded by his student Arrian in the Discourses and the Enchiridion, small books that still guide people today in the pursuit of freedom and peace. Part 2: What freedom really means. For most of us, freedom means the ability to go where we want, buy what we desire, or live without restrictions. But Epictetus would call this an illusion. He taught that true freedom is not about external circumstances, which are always uncertain and beyond our control, but about our inner state of mind. He said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." That means the person who is addicted to wealth is not free. The person who needs constant approval is not free. The person who reacts with anger to every insult is not free. Freedom, in Stoic philosophy, is about liberation from the tyranny of our own passions and fears. Part 3: The dichotomy of control. The key to freedom. One of Epictetus's most famous teachings is the dichotomy of control. He divided life into two categories. 1. What is within our control: our opinions, choices, desires, and actions. 2. What is not within our control: our health, reputation, wealth, other people's actions, and ultimately, life and death itself. He taught that we waste our lives when we try to control what is not ours. True freedom comes when we stop struggling against what we cannot change, and focus entirely on what is within our power. Think about it. You cannot control the traffic, but you can control your response to it. You cannot control whether people like you, but you can control whether you act with integrity. You cannot control when you will die, but you can control how you live today. This is not about passivity. It is about directing our energy where it truly matters. Part 4: The slave who became more free than emperors. Ironically, while Epictetus was once a literal slave, his teachings made him freer than many powerful rulers. Even emperors, surrounded by wealth and soldiers, were often slaves to anger, fear, and desire. Epictetus pointed out that if your happiness depends on something fragile and temporary like fame, riches, or even the affection of others, then you are chained to it. But when your peace of mind depends only on your own choices and judgments, then no one can enslave you, not even fate. This is the radical lesson Epictetus gave the world. Freedom is not given to you by society, but claimed by mastering yourself. Part 5: Applying Epictetus's lessons today. How do we apply these teachings in the modern world? Social media and approval. Many people today are slaves to likes, comments, and online validation. Epictetus would remind us, you cannot control the opinion of others, only your own integrity. Wealth and consumerism. Advertising tells us freedom comes from buying more. Epictetus would disagree. Freedom is found in needing less stress and uncertainty, whether it's the economy, politics, or health crises. The outside world will always be unstable. But Epictetus teaches, don't seek security in the external. Build resilience in your own mind. Practical step. Each day, ask yourself, is this within my control or not? If it's not, let it go. If it is, take action with calm courage. Part 6: Freedom through discipline. To Epictetus, freedom was not doing whatever you feel like. That kind of freedom often leads to addiction, chaos, and weakness. Instead, freedom requires discipline. By training your mind and habits, you become strong enough to resist destructive impulses. He compared life to training for the Olympics. If you want to win, you must practice, endure hardship, and live with focus. Similarly, if you want freedom, you must practice controlling your thoughts, accepting discomfort, and living with virtue. Discipline becomes the path to liberation. Part 7: Exercises for inner freedom. Here are 3 practical Stoic exercises you can try, inspired by Epictetus. 1. Control check throughout the day. Pause and ask, is this under my control? If not, release it. 2. Voluntary discomfort practice, going without something you crave. Skip a meal, take a cold shower, or leave your phone behind for a few hours. This reminds you that happiness does not depend on external comforts. 3. Negative visualization. Imagine losing something you value, your job, your health, or a loved one. This practice is not to make you sad, but to prepare your mind to accept loss with strength and to appreciate what you have now. Part 8: Epictetus's final lesson. Epictetus never sought fame or wealth. He lived simply, with little more than his freedom of thought. His message remains as powerful today as it was 2,000 years ago. You may not control what happens to you, but you always control how you respond. And in that choice lies your freedom. When the world pressures you to conform, when chaos surrounds you, when fear tries to enslave you, remember the slave who became a philosopher, who taught emperors, and who discovered the only freedom that truly matters: the freedom of the mind. This has been Calm Mindset. Thank you for joining me in exploring the Stoic path to freedom with Epictetus. If this lesson resonates with you, let it guide your day. Focus on what you can control, release what you cannot, and find freedom within yourself. Stay strong, stay calm, and remember, the mind that is free is a mind at peace. Freedom is not given by governments, possessions, or even the people around you. It is something you claim by mastering your own choices, one moment at a time. That means every challenge, every setback, every disappointment is also an opportunity to practice freedom. So the next time life feels overwhelming, think of Epictetus, a man who had nothing, yet discovered everything. And maybe, just maybe, you'll find that true freedom has been waiting inside you all along. It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. Epictetus,